now I'm going to talk about constituency test. A constituent is a phrase, okay? Like we saw earlier, there's a verb phrase, noun phrase, preposition phrase. We have to check whether the words that are next to each other belong to the same phrase or not. And we do that by having some test for to check if whether they form a constituent, okay? So usually you think that anything that start with a P would form a PP, right? But we cannot be sure until we test it. So right now I'm gonna mark what kind of phrase it is for now, okay? Made up is a VP. Made a kid is also VP because it is start with a make. Pork and beans are NP. Together form NP. At home start with an at. It's a PP. And two of, just two of, okay? It starts with a determiner, or it could be a noun. It's followed by a preposition. It looks weird. It's full, a VP, because it is start with with verb to be, and we're gonna do the other two later because I just have a space right now. So just to remind you, constituency test can be done by replacing the string of word with a pronoun, or do so for verbs, and there for PP, okay, for preposition. Or you can do movement test. So you just move it in front, which is called fronting, or move it to something called cleft, like it is. Cleft is, it is X that Y, okay? Coordination. Coordination means that you find the same thing and conjoin it with and. So if you have a VP, you have to conjoin with another VP to see if that makes sense. But the constituency test, in order to know whether it's right or not, you need to have that judgment, the grammatical judgment. It's called Grammaticality Judgment, which can only come if you are the native speaker. If you're not a native speaker, I'm not a native speaker, sometimes I have to go check with the native speaker whether they say it or not. The only way to know if something is grammatical is for a native speaker to judge whether they would say it or is it weird to say, okay? I think that was the recap. So let's go through these examples. The first one, I ran out of gas. If you move it in front, out of gas, I ran. Is it weird? You have to go ask the native speaker, because if you're not a native speaker, you will never know whether this is correct or is acceptable or not. The answer is no, it's not correct, because run out of has to be together. It's a phrasal verb, okay? Run out of is like I'm out of something. I don't have something. They have to come together. So this is called phrasal verb, okay? They cannot be broken up and move just the out of somewhere else, okay? Like out of gas, I ran. It's weird. Out of money, I ran. Out of money, I am. Nobody says that. They would say, I'm out of money. I ran out of money. So the answer for this is no. Okay? Out of gas, the one that the underline here, out of gas is not a constituent. Okay? So you have to do two things. First, you pick yes or no, and then you show me with the test. Okay? One of these four tests. I run for miles. Can you put it in front? For miles, I run. Now it works, okay? And so for something that works, you just leave it there, but something that don't work, you just put a star in front. A star means nobody said it's unacceptable, okay? You have to put it somewhere like this is unacceptable, ungrammatical. Next, so for miles I ran, or you can ask with question. How far did you run? And the answer is 4 miles. How far did you run? I ran 4 miles. Or you can just say 4 miles. Okay. Next is I made up a story, and this time is the phrasal verb made up. So can you replace it with another thing such as do so? I made up a story. I did so with I did so. I made up a story. I made up, and I'm just gonna do the conjunction coordination, okay? I made up and wrote a story. Now, because it makes sense, people conjoin these two V's together. I made up and told a lie. I made up and wrote a story. So this one is a yes. Oh, number 2 too is a yes. Okay. Out of gas is not a constituent. For miles is a constituent because you can move it in front. Made up is a constituent because you can conjoin it with another verb and it makes sense. It is acceptable. Number 4, Peter's wife made a cake for his birthday, so you can replace it with do so, right? Do so replace made a cake. So I'm gonna put she, okay? She made a cake for his birthday, right? And did so for his retirement, I guess. So yes, made a cake, you can already tell that it makes sense because make, you want to make something, and that something is a cake. And you replace did so in order to say that did so means bake a cake. So this one means she made a cake for his birthday and she made a cake for his retirement. And we replace made a cake with did so. Okay. Number 5 is very easy. Pork and beans can be replaced with they. So you put here, they are the staple for my dinner. I usually work at home. At home, I usually work. Yes, we do that, right? Or you can use coordination. I usually work at home and at school. So at home and at school. Or you can replace it with there. I usually work there. Okay. Number 7, I want 2 of those apples. This already sounds so weird, but then you have to prove it that it is wrong. I'm gonna do the coordination, sorry. I want 2 of and some of those apples. Nobody said that, okay? We don't do 2 of and some of, but we do 2 and 3 of those, okay? So this one is wrong. We put a star. I'm just gonna use another color for the one that are wrong, okay? So number 1 is wrong. Number 7 is wrong. And you don't forget to put a star in front of the test. It means that You cannot say these sentences. Nobody says it. Number 8, my stomach is full of food. Again, this is so weird. My stomach is full and empty of food. Because full, it has to come together with of. It cannot be just full, right? Or you can say of food. My stomach is full. So my stomach is full. This is wrong, okay? Because if you only say my stomach is full, it's fine. But you cannot put of food in front of this. So the answer is no. Okay? Get it? Now, next is number 9 and number 10. Number 9, number 10. Can you do it? Should I go through the tunnel? Move it in front. It's a PP. Through the tunnel. Should I go? I guess so. You can go there, right? You can replace it with there, or where should I go? Or how should I go? How should I go to university? You should go through the tunnel. You can simply use through the tunnel on its own, and it's fine. So the answer is yes. And you can test it with how. How should I go to school? Should I go through the tunnel? Mary gave away her dog. So usually give away something, right? You give something away. It's a phrasal verb. Again, like run out of phrasal verb. If you move it in front, away her dog. So weird. Away her dog, Mary gave. Nobody says that ever. So you put star in front and you put no. And also another test is if you can break give away. So she gave her dog away. Now this is possible because you can insert the object inside the phrasal verb, but you cannot do that if it is not a phrasal verb. Okay, she gave it away. She gave her dog away. This one shows that give away must act as a unit, and so you cannot just break away her dog out like that. So it's a no. It is not. It is not a constituent. Okay, I hope you understand this part, and next video I'm gonna move on to ambiguity test.